Welcome to another one of these videos that I have on YouTube, and I'm the most non-YouTube person making YouTube videos, but I want to make sure I document a lot of the stuff that I'm doing to this room. And on Instagram, I post on Instagram, and Reggie Collects also, well, is the Reggie Collects Instagram page. That's not his real name. Anyhow, he posted this cabinet drawer set, and the last couple of days I've been getting a slew of messages, a whole bunch of them, and people asking me how I built it, what designs I had, and honestly, it's a pretty simple cabinet idea. A carpenter could do a much better job than I can, trust me. There's a lot of things that I would fix with it. You can see this outside shell is just raw plywood. I don't even have it painted. I might paint it in the future, but if this was going to be in a common access area of my house, in the living room for say, or an area where guests can come and see, I would definitely probably use laminated melamine board. And I do say a lot. It looks a lot more professional. This my comic book room, it's off kind of hidden away, and I'm comfortable with this, but I also know that whenever I build it, I know I can always improve stuff later, and I just kind of wanted to get built. What I'll probably end up doing to it in the future is obviously taking the drawers out, sanding this down really smooth, and then I'll probably take this to my spray room and out in the workshop, and I'll probably just put a nice matte flat black coating on it, and I think that'll look sharp. But for now, I just wanted to build them to get rid of my long boxes and get this up. I do have a cut list. I would change things. I made the top boards of the 3/4 inch plywood on the shell, or the cabinet shell. I made it 43 and 3/4 inch, and if anyone is decent at math, there are 5 supports in between here. That 3/4 inch equals 3 3/4 inch, and the spaces in between are 10 inches. I got to the end on here, and this happened on 2 different cabinets. It didn't match up exactly. I don't like that. I went back, I measured the spaces in between the cabinets, exactly 10 inches, and I couldn't figure out why they didn't match up. I measured the top board, it came out exact. The difference was the 3/4 inch plywood that I bought was not exactly 3/4 inch. Everyone was off by just a fraction. So it led to this little change. So how I would fix that, the top board, as opposed to making it line up exact, I would actually cut out a 45 inch top board. 45 inches long, 24 inches wide. That way I could have some overhang, and then I could just adjust it, and you wouldn't be able to see it with your eye, the difference. That's one thing I would definitely improve. So I do have a building list, or a material list, forgive me. Guys, this is me. I just did this up in my head. You would probably make it better, and trust me, there's so many ways to improve this. I have 2 boards that are 23 and 15/16, which, if anyone knows, the normal size of a blade is 1/8 inch wide. And so if you just rip a sheet of plywood down the middle, you will not get exact 24 inches. So every time I say 24 inches, it's actually 23 inches and 15/16. So I have that, this 43 3/4 top bottom. I would make that 45, but that's up to you. That's up to whoever. The sides are 12 inches high, and again, 23 and 15/16. And a backing board, the back does not exactly cover the exact dimension of the shelf, because one of the things I did was I wanted to make this out of 1 sheet of plywood. I didn't have to want to buy multiple sheets to build 1 cabinet. So on each side of the back, there's about 3 inches of give on either side, but the back still holds it and it will keep it from collapsing. Now the drawers, and I'll show you the drawers here in a second. Here's a cut list. And again, I designed it. The sides are 10 by 23 of the drawer itself. I have 8 of those. The bottoms for each of the drawer is 9 inches by 23 inches. The back, there's 4 of them, 9 inches by 11.5 inches. And on here, B are the back, F is the front. The fronts are 8 by 11 inches. And honestly, this can be improved upon. This is not the only way to do this. This was just me just literally one day just sketching it out. And again, I wanted to make 4 drawers out of one 4-foot by 8-inch, 1/2-inch MDF board, or MFD board, forgive me. And here is one of the drawers that we built. Okay. Now, if you come over here, on a table saw, I cut a groove, okay? It's just a blade width, and it doesn't go the whole way through. Yep, there you go. It does not go the whole way through the 1/2-inch board. It just goes about halfway, about 1/4 inch deep. And that way, I bought this acrylic, and it'll slide right down into that groove. And that's really nice for displaying my comics over here, which was ultimately the goal. I got tired of having long boxes and putting my comics in the long boxes and then just them not being there. Obviously, I have the slabs on display, but the long boxes, you know, the comics would go in there and you'd never see them again. So how I built this, again, I gave you those dimensions on the cut pieces, but how I put it together is and it's kind of hard to see here because of the slide rails, but the sides go on top of the bottom, okay? And I screwed, and from the bottom, I put 8 screws into the sideboards. The back, after I got the sides put on, I put the back on. And guys, this MFD board, or MDF board, forgive me, you have to pre-drill every hole. And you can see where I marked them out. If you don't pre-drill, it just splits and crumbles. So you have to pre-drill your holes. And then the front board, if you look, I just screwed it in from the side. And again, you can see my measurement marks before I pre-drilled it, so that I knew where to go. Standard drawer slides, nothing special. Honestly, these drawer slides, they were on a cheaper end, and it was nice, fit the budget, but there is an issue with it. Well, these drawer slides are nice to reach in. You load comic books from the top. Uh-oh. Of course it showed up on a YouTube video. As I push it in, whenever I go to pull it out, that's all the further I can pull it out. So any comic book behind here, I literally have to pull the books out in front to get in the back. I don't put them back there. I use spacers in the back, but I am going to replace all of these slides with higher end drawer slides, kind of with ball bearings that you can pull the whole drawer out. You know, it'll extend the whole way out. The problem is with those, they're about $20, $25 a piece, and you figure out I got 16 different drawers here, and I got another 4 over here. You know, multiply 25 times 20, that's $500. And again, I wanted to get this up quick, and eventually I'll replace them, but that's just not a super rush. Same thing with painting. Someday I'll do it. It's just not a super rush. So hopefully that answered everybody's questions. And I don't know if it did, but again, feel free to put any questions in the comments. I'll answer as many as I can. And thank you for watching.